Hey everyone, this is Rolls, and we're on episode 35 of the Metal Gear Solid 2 playthrough, and we're coming into the home stretch here. We got a little bit more of exposition, and then a final fight, and then the ending to this very good story-based game. You know, I didn't really know the reference before, playing this, because this was actually the first Metal Gear Solid game I played, but Solidus does look an awful lot like Big Boss. Not just the eye patch, just the way they made him look at it.
Do you know what day it is today?
April 30th?
April 30th.
That's right. George Washington took office as the first president of the United States of America 200 years ago today. And it happened right here. We were going to declare another independence, the dawn of a new nation here.
So apparently there was some content edited out of this I didn't really even know about. There was going to be a whole video of Arsenal crashing into Manhattan here, but after 9/11, they're like,
All you want is power at any cost.
Jack, it's not power I want. What I wanted to take back from the patriots are things like freedom, civil rights, opportunities. The founding principles of this country. Everything that's about to be wiped out by their digital censorship. Jack, listen to me. We're all born with an expiration date. No one lasts forever. Life is nothing but a grace period for turning the best of our genetic material into the next generation.
I mean, yeah, this genetics argument, but he kind of has a point. I've often joked, Solidus was right all along. Because, that line there that he said, what I want to take back from them are things like freedom, civil rights, and opportunities. It's like being very anti-big government myself. It's like, wow, yeah, that makes sense.
Proof of our existence, a mark of some sort. When the torch is passed on from parent to child, it extends beyond DNA. Information is imparted as well.
This almost reminds me of half the plot of Advent Children in a way, where it's mimetic legacy and all that. So he's talking about legacy right now.
By history, the Patriots are trying to protect their power, their own interests, by controlling the digital flow of information. I want my memory, my existence to remain. Unlike an intron of history, I will be remembered as an exon. That will be my legacy.
Introns and exons. I had to learn that. Vocabulary. Give the credit to these games. They make you smarter.
And liberate us all. And we will become the sons of liberty.
Meanwhile, in Codec land.
We're still here. How's that possible? The AI was...
So this is kind of trippy.
Who are you?
But
To begin with, we're not what you'd call...
I guess they explain it well enough. He's talking to a program and everything. But then it's a layer of consciousness formed in the crucible of the White House. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Primordial soup, a base of evolution. We are formless. We are
The very discipline and morality that Americans invoke so often. You're talking to the spirit of America somehow. What the fuck is this?
If you're immortal, why would you take away...
Yeah, why would you censor the net?
Censor the net.
We called it the net back then.
Don't be silly.
cjb.org.net.gov.
What?
Jack, Listen carefully, like a good boy.
That must have been fun to do as a voice actress, though. Just be like, listen and be a good boy. Like these kind of line reads like that.
Open to us.
We started with genetic engineering.
Get out of here, bag.
Succeeded in digitizing life itself.
Oh man, I only recorded like a little 40-minute part for my the Final Fantasy 8 HD, like the redo I'm doing with it, right? And there's one more part to do yet. Because yesterday I was getting a lot of repairs done on my Jeep. Not for inspection, this is just like a lot of little preventative maintenance, like 3 new tires, rod bushing, stuff like that. And I'm $500 away from having it all done. And then when that's done, it's like, oh, well, might as well just get the inspection over with, right? But what I'm worried about is, like, should I start picking up more overtime at work now, just to get that done as soon as possible? Because the 2 things that are missing are front brakes, which are super important, and like the support rod for the tire on the left side. Because I've just put a new tire on there and I don't want it to wear down, you know, quickly. So my buddy who owns the shop that I went to school with my whole life sort of gave me some good estimates for it. So I'm gonna try to record a lot of parts on the days I know I have off, because I might pick up overtime to get that done ASAP. This is a good part here. I don't want to talk too much over this.
Rights of criminals are given.
That's true.
In the privacy of their victims.
Absolutely. That's absolutely true as well.
Everyone grows up being told the same thing.
Be nice to other people.
But beat out the competition.
You're special. Believe in yourself and you will succeed.
But it's obvious from the start that only a few can succeed.
You exercise your right to freedom, and this is the result. All rhetoric to avoid conflict and protect each other from hurt. The untested truths, spun by different interests, continue to churn and accumulate in the sandbox of political correctness and value systems.
Everyone withdraws into their own small gated community, afraid of a larger forum. They stay inside their little ponds, leaking whatever truth suits them into the growing cesspool of society at large.
The different cardinal truths neither clash.
Wow, I never realized how much that is applicable currently as well. Everyone living in their own small little gated communities and spitting out their version of the truth into a growing cesspool of community and society at large.
It's our responsibility.
You know, not taking any political sides with anything in these playthroughs, because this is just me being goofy and having a good time, but
And you think you're qualified to decide what's necessary and not?
there's a real parallel there with shit.
Who else could wade through the sea of garbage you people produce?
You have to respect the rights of other people to believe what they want to believe, even if their beliefs are fundamentally wrong and flawed, like fucking people who believe in white supremacy. Like, well, they're peaceably gathering, so we have to let them speak. Like, which is true, that's an American value, to let them peaceably assemble and be fucking retarded. But, you know.
That's not true. I have the right.
Does something like a self exist?
Oh, now they're getting into the definitions of self. I love it.
Nothing more than a mask to cover your own being.
In this era of ready-made truths, self is just something used to preserve those positive emotions that you occasionally feel.
Another possibility is that self is a concept you conveniently borrowed under the logic that would endow you with some sense of strength.
That's crap.
Is it? Would you prefer that someone else tell you? All right then. Explain it to him.
Jack, you're simply the best, and you got there all by yourself.
What happened? Do you feel lost? Why not try a bit of soul searching?
Don't think you'll find anything, though.
Ironic that although self is something that you yourself fashioned, Every time something goes wrong, you turn around and place the blame on something else.
It's not my fault. It's not your fault.
In denial, you simply resort to looking for another, more convenient truth.
That makes sense.
Leaving behind in an instant the so-called truth you once embraced.
Should someone like that be able to decide what is truth?
Should someone like you even have the right to decide?
You've done nothing but abuse your freedom.
So what they're saying is the freedom that, you know, we should be given is too much responsibility for some people to handle, which is definitely an arguable point, but that doesn't mean the civil liberties of one person should be encroached upon because other people can't handle that freedom to operate, you know, self-sufficiently, or they should, or to operate self-motivationally, I guess, would be a good way to say it.
You want to control human thought, human behavior?
Of course. Anything can be quantified nowadays. That's what this exercise was designed to prove.
You fell in love with me just as you were meant to, after all. Isn't that right, Jack?
Ocelot was not told the whole truth, to say the least.
We rule an entire nation. Of what interest would a single soldier, no matter how able, be to us?
The S3 plan.
Oh, okay. Let's revise the S3 plan then.
What it does stand for is selection for
Societal sanity.
The S3 is a system for controlling human will and consciousness. S3 is not you, a soldier trained in the image of solid snake. It is a method, a protocol that creates...
I always liked this footage they did because they did like the whole Kojima fish and mailed scene, but like, why would you fight with a SOCOM here?
What you experienced was the final test of its effectiveness.
I've actually been replaying this game lately on my PS4 for the trophies.
The objective of this exercise was to establish...
Got through normal. But I'm collecting the dog tags as I go, of course, and got through normal. Did you see the other day? I forget if I saved it or not, but I started a new playthrough through very easy. Because there's a trophy for like going the whole game without getting an alert status that like you can control, and it was going pretty well. I was in the tanker. I think I got one right at the end, so I'll probably have to restart it. But I didn't save anything, I don't believe. But that's going to be a very save scummy playthrough. It's conceivable that I could get the platinum for this game. Just the same way it's conceivable that I could get it for 3 as well. They're kind of time sinky, but not as bad as some like Final Fantasy X time sinky or anything. Like the grind can only go so long, you know.
Only the things you like, and for yourself alone.
Probably use a guide at some point.
You refused to see me for what I was. I lied to you, but I wanted to be caught. You pretended to be understanding, to be a gentleman. You never made a conscious attempt to reach out to me. The only time you did was when I gave you no choice but to do so.
I was just trying not to...
What? Trying not to hurt me? Dear, the one you were trying not to hurt was yourself. Avoiding the truth under the guise of kindness is all that you did. It occurred to you to do nothing.
I mean, I could definitely identify with that. Going, thinking you're trying not to hurt someone or trying to see someone in a better light, when all you're really doing is lying to yourself to try to maintain a relationship. Hell, that's how it was with my ex-girlfriend that, you know, used to live here with me and stuff. Like, gave her way too many fucking chances, and all I ended up with was sad moments and stuff. And it's like, oh, being single was scary again, but once it was there, like 2 weeks into it, I felt better. Plus, I didn't, like, not soon after I got Yuna, and my little cat girl's been hanging with me solid since, you know. So, like, I have a companion here. Yeah, I'm still looking to date, looking online and stuff, but it's not a huge pressing concern right now because I've got other good stuff going on.
It's time for the final exercise.
And they're talking about you try to discard one truth of your life to look for another one as soon as it's not painful, but it's like you can't do that. You just got to be the sum of every experience that happened to you, really.
If you die, my child dies.
The termination of vital signals from your nanomachines means the death of Olga's child. Not to mention the death of
The death of Rose.
wired the same way.
Rose, does she actually exist?
Of course I do, Jack.
I like that they made the word lie and believe in uppercase there. Like, that's a bit on the nose, but I do like it.
We will collect the necessary data from this last fight. Then we'll consider the exercise closed. So, Jack the Ripper, will it be Solidus, the Patriot's creation?
And the distortion from GW is still in the Colonel's face, too. And we'll continue this in the next episode.